Hello and welcome to another episode of Kalamba Katch Ups, the show where we take you through the latest and the greatest from the Kalamba Game Studio. Today is a very special episode because we will be discussing our first ever branded bespoke game with Interwetten, one of our beloved clients. The game is called Interwetten Pyro 7's Hold and Win. And joining us today in the studio is a very special guest, the resident slots guru at Interwetten, Sebastian Belton. Sebastian, welcome and thank you for joining us, mate.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me onto the program. I look forward to discussing the game.
It's my pleasure, mate. Now, am I going to call you Seb or Astian or Sebastian?
Seb's
Which one
fine.
is it?
Yeah, the one otherwise just reminds me of being told off as a child as my full name.
No, good. We won't use a Christian name. We'll use Seb. Way cooler. You could call me Kai. I had very lazy parents, just 3 letters, 1 syllable. So
Nice and easy.
it's hard to make a nickname out of that one. So
Indeed.
although I did have some derogatory nicknames in school, which I will not repeat in front of this audience. Seb, obviously, like the purpose of the call today is to go through the game Interwetten Pyro 7's Hold and Win. Very excited about it. But before we do go into the specifics about the game, can you just tell myself and the audience a little bit about yourself, about your role at Interwetten?
Sure, no problem. Obviously, my name's Seb Belton. I'm the casino product brand manager at Interwetten. I joined in June last year, so approaching a year at the company. Basically, I assist in the promotional marketing aspects at Interwetten, along with some other colleagues. We kind of work as a team unit. I also do data analytics on looking deep diving into the financials of the slot gaming on the site and see how well we're doing, looking at how we can improve, and looking at sort of other aspects like our I can't find the words, so like our competitor analysis, kind of that kind of thing.
Okay, all right. So basically everything to do with the inception of the slot and what kind of games you're putting forward towards the audience, which games work, which games don't work, etc.
Certainly, and also, as you mentioned, the marketing and promotional aspects, so looking at how we can further Kalamba's, reach in the company, and what we can do to promote your games on the site.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming, Seb, that you're a slots player yourself.
Certainly am, unfortunately. But as I said, I always look at gambling as a form of entertainment, as all people should do. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if every single person follows that. But in my opinion, it's like if you go to watch a movie at the cinema, you don't expect to get your 10 euros or £10 back once you've left the cinema. I see it the same way with sort of gambling. You pay for the entertainment, and if you win something, it's a bonus.
Absolutely. That's a very mature way to look at it. I have the same philosophy. We'd say gambling enthusiast, right? So it is about the entertainment, and that's first and foremost what we're trying to do as a studio is whenever we're building a game, the entertainment is at the center of what we're doing in terms of a content strategy. My philosophy is like if the player leaves a game, winning or losing, but they feel entertained, they're more likely to come back to that. So I think I'm 100% on board with you there. And that is our job, right? It's your job to review these games. It's our job to build them. And thank you, Seb, for that insight. It's very good to get to know you and what you do at the company. Now, without further ado, obviously, as I mentioned, this is our first ever branded game with Interwetten. So that alone has got me excited enough, right? The fact that we built it on a tried and tested mechanic, a game called Firebolt Multi-7's Hold and Win, which is one of our most successful games of all time. In fact, since its launch, it still remains in the top 5 in terms of wagering and GGR and players, which in itself tells you everything you need to know. Now, that's not to say that the reskin of that original game is going to perform and shoot the lights out, but we hope that that is the idea, right? So going off a tried and tested mechanic is usually the better way to do it because you kind of know what to expect more or less. With regards to the game itself, and you've obviously played the game already, what about this specific mechanic stands out to you? What do you like? What do you not like, for example?
Are we talking about the actual the bespoke game?
Yeah.
The
Interwetten game, yeah.
I mean, obviously for me, cash pots is kind of the best part of the game. I enjoyed the aspect of the thrill of potentially getting a big payout from one of the static JPs. I think it's well integrated into the actual bonus as well, in that, you know, when you get into the bonus, it happens quite frequently, which I always feels a nice feeling as a customer, that you're getting action on the game. And you may not get those JP wins, but I've had it a few times where I've won a major JP on that, and it's quite a nice feeling. So yeah, I really enjoy that aspect. It's nice and happens regularly, and I feel like it's a good addition.
Seb, very valid points about the game mechanic. Completely agree with you. And I think that's a nice segue into the theme of the game. Now, you mentioned that you're an avid slots player. Okay. Some people play slots for the studio that's making the slot. They might have a favorite studio. Some people play because of the mechanic itself, and others play just because they like certain themes, right? And I like to think that most players are theme agnostic nowadays. I think 10 years ago, theme maybe was a bit more relevant, like, are you playing from Germany, are you playing from Japan? But now what we're seeing, especially with our content inventory, is that we have a lot of our games performing really well regardless of their theme in multiple jurisdictions, whether that's the States or Italy or Japan, etc. Now with this game, Interwetten Pyro 7's Hold and Win, we've got this beautiful fiery landscape in the base game. We've got flaming sevens on the reels. You've got that super hot hyperbed panel. Phil, maybe if you could just show a snap of that in the background there, the hyperbed panel. Seb, visually, what is it about this game that you like?
Well, that's a great question, Kai, but I think really simplistically looking at it, it's classic, isn't it? I mean, we got the sevens. I mean, sevens are universally known in slot gaming. It's probably one of the most iconic icons, so to speak, in slot history. So that's obviously like people are instantly going to recognize that when they see that. And fire, I mean, everyone loves fire. I mean, not in the sort of burning down building sense, but in a sort of
not in an arsonist kind of way.
Sort of, yeah, exactly. Not in that way, but in a kind of like aesthetically pleasing way. Seeing fiery sort of animations on slots, always a winner. I think it looks really great in the game. The animations, I like to also add just a quick note, my own personal opinion when it comes to these things. I don't know if you know games like something like Candy Crush from like mobile. People do get really sort of enticed with animations, and seeing big explosions when you get big wins and stuff like that. It's the same sort of thing in slots. I think it transfers very well in that kind of situation. Seeing lots of nice animations and you get a big win and there's lots of stuff going on, people love that. And if you do it in a certain way, I still feel like animations and aesthetics still play an important lead role in how much a customer will engage in a slot game.
Exactly. And it's not invasive, and I think you hit the nail on the head there perfectly. The theme is classic, right? It's going to resonate with a very large player base, whether you're new or an experienced player or a VIP player. The sevens games, typically our sevens games that we produce, have that classic Vegas style slot look, and you can do a lot with that. It's like yes, the intrinsic structure of the panel and the reels is not changing too much, and you've got the hyperbed panel at the bottom, but there is still a lot of room to play with there. Also, something to note with this game, obviously it's a branded game, right? So that means it's got to feature the logo, right? So the Interwetten logo is there in the game. But I don't think it's invasive. What do you think about how that's been done?
Well, actually, I was just going to mention as well that obviously the Interwetten logo has been very well portrayed in the game. It looks nice. It's visually appealing. It's got that nice sheen to it. As you said, it doesn't feel out of place at all in the game. It looks and feels very much part of the overall experience. So I think it's a great integration in terms of the integration into the slot, and the bespoke element of the game has been done very well.
Yeah, subtle, but you get the picture, right? I think that's what we're always trying to do with the branded games. I mean, the player's going to know, right? So the trick is to not make it too invasive, and I think that is, even look at advertising. That's the subtle art of really good advertising, is where you've got the brand in there, but it's not shoved down your throat, and the player still gets the experience, and it doesn't interfere with the features. On that point, like its predecessor, this game is packed with a lot of features, right? So we've got hyperbet, you mentioned cash pots, super hold and win, multiplier wilds. I think you already answered this question. I think you said you like the cash pots, but is there any favorite feature that you have aside from that, or do you think all of the features, adequately contribute to the game's appeal?
Well, Yeah, as mentioned, the cash pots is my favorite aspect of the slot, and the bonus round, obviously itself is normally the most important feature for me in most slots, unless it's there's no bonus feature specifically. But if we're looking outside of that, the hyper bet, the feature is also really cool. I love the way that the customer gets the choice on how much they want to sort of throw themselves into the game mechanics and what they can win, the kind of benefits that they're getting from them. Obviously the cash pots themselves, well, the JPs rather, can be activated at a higher level, you know, getting the increased multipliers, all of these aspects. And I love the fact that the customer's in control of the choices there. So that really adds like a really intrinsic value to the slot, in correlation to the other aspects that the game provides.
I think that's a great point. And a second question, just on top of that, you as a player, when you're playing, are you the kind of guy who wants to play from the base game organically up into the bonus round? Are you going to go straight into the bonus round? Do you want to try and use as many features as you can early on? Or like, what's your typical experience with the slot game?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be to put the, because obviously it's going out to the general public at some point, so I don't want to generate a way to play the slots, because I think everyone's different. But I mean, if I have to give like a sort of a more general sense about the game, like I would probably play it organically. I personally wouldn't like use buy bonus, but I understand a lot of people enjoy that aspect of slot gaming. For me, I much prefer to access the bonus rounds organically and you know, enjoy the slots other aspects. You know, I probably would use hyperbet well, I do, you know, have used it on you know, playing on Interwetten for testing and stuff, so I enjoy using the hyperbet. And were I to play it on my own account, I would definitely utilize that feature.
Yeah, I'm the same. Straight into the hyperbet. Straight into the hyperbet level 4 for me.
Yeah.
And Seb, one final...
Oh, sorry, just to add...
Go on,
sorry, just to add one other point on that as well. I also love the aspect that the RTP value is raised with the higher level hyperbets, which is great for the customers. You know,
exactly.
Great little small detail, but really important.
Yeah, I mean, it's to your point about, you know, giving the player the autonomy and the power to choose how they want to experience that game. You know, not like a one size fits all, but rather, okay, if you want, you can activate higher hyperbet levels, play around with that RTP, play around with the experience that the player is going to get, which is great. And we see, you know, we look at the numbers, obviously, just like you mentioned, a big part of your job is the data analysis, right? So data crunching, well, how many people are accessing and using the buy bonus? How many people are activating different levels in the hyperbets? And I think that's very telling. I think one of the reasons why we keep making these sevens games is because, you know, number one, that classic theme works really well, and number two, the hyperbet panel is very actively engaged with. So you know, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, you know, for as long as those games are going to keep working, we'll keep producing them. That being said, there is obviously scope to get a little bit more creative and experimental, but because this is our first branded game with you guys, we wanted to play it a little bit safer and say, okay, well, we know this mechanic has worked. It's been tried and tested. Like I said, that Firebolt 7's its predecessor is still in the top 5 after all these months. So no such thing as a sure thing, as you know, in this business and in gambling in general, but it's a safe bet in my opinion. Seb, one final question. I think this is just for the audience to get a better understanding and gauge how we went about kind of conceptualizing and producing this game. But can you tell us, in your own words, how did you find the process of working with Kalamba Games on developing this game? You could start to finish, whatever you prefer. Just give us a sense of what it's like to be involved in a project like this of producing a branded game.
Sure. Well, as you well know, Kai, like ourselves, Interwetten and Kalamba have a very close relationship. Obviously, Sani, our account manager, does a great job. Keeps us informed of all information. We have you know, good meetings to discuss how the games are performing, so we're always very much in touch with you know, the performance of the titles. This has really helped us to you know, think about the reasons of why we wanted a bespoke game with them, with you guys. And obviously, you know, we've decided on this game, and the reason I think we came upon it was just we're looking at like the how well the game performed, looking at the original title, and that we wanted to just build off the back of that. The process itself was really straightforward. You know, you guys sent us some mock-ups of how it looked, and we came back with feedback. Originally, I think the Interwetten logo wasn't to our liking, and we were like, we just want to change this, and we explained it in a bit of detail, and you guys knew exactly what we wanted, and it was very simple process.
I'm joking.
Yeah, you make it bigger, change the color, make it gold.
Bigger. But yeah, it really was actually a pretty simple. It was a simple process, actually. I mean, and that's kudos to you guys for making it easy. That's not always the case. So having the opportunity to work with an operator that kind of knows what they want already makes that process a lot easier. And obviously, a big thanks to our guys in Krakow. The brains behind the operation. Myself and Sadi like to think that we're the beauty behind the operation, so that we just have to stand here and look pretty. But those guys are the ones actually building the game. So hats off to them, and hats off to your team as well. For being so involved in the project and really caring for it and making sure that we produce a good game. So I think from start to finish, it's been a very enjoyable experience. It's been easy, and that's thanks to you guys.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and obviously I'm sure we'll be looking to do this in the future. I have no doubt this game will absolutely smash it on our site. So yeah, there's definitely room to approach this again in the near future.
Absolutely, mate. I look forward to Pyro 7.20. That's going to be good fun.
Indeed.
Yeah, and again, thank you for your time, mate. Really great getting to know you. And next time you've got to come in studio. Likewise. We'll do it in studio. We'll do the demo in studio together, and then we'll hop onto the bar upstairs afterwards.
Sure, we can do that. No problem.
Good stuff, man.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Seb. And for those watching, our audience, thank you as always for joining us. Have a look at the game when you see this video on LinkedIn. There's a link to the game demos. You can play it, so watch the demo if you prefer. As always, share your comments with us. We love to know your feedback and what you think about the game. But yeah, that's a wrap. And thank you again, Seb, for joining us.
Oh yeah, just one last thing. Just go to the Interwetten site to play it for yourself.
Absolutely, of course. Go to the Interwetten.
Got to do that bit at the end.
No. We got to get some lead generation going.
Do the plugging.
Shame on me for not mentioning that. But yeah, you can only go play this on Interwetten. You can actually, because it's a bespoke game. Yeah. It's exclusive to Interwetten. Indeed. Yeah. So if you would like to play the game, go and visit the Interwetten site. Right, now, like its predecessor, Firebolt's Multi-7s Hold and Win, this game is packed with features. As I mentioned, we've got Hyperbet, we've got Cash Pots, Super Hold and Win, Multiplier Wilds. As you can see on the bottom of the game panel there, we've got our Hyperbet levels, each with its own special payout. This allows you to customize your experience based on levels of volatility and RTP. Now remember, Hyperbet level 4, as you can see over there at the bottom of the panel, activates those Super Hold and Wins and allows you to get to collect instant prizes, right? Let's see if we can get a couple wins in the base game first. Hopefully we can see a couple Multiplier Wilds on the reels. By the way, these substitute for all symbols except the Multiplier 7s. That's and Hold and Win and Super Hold and Win, sorry. Okay, here we got a win. We got the Multiplier 7 symbols, which are only active on Hyperbet levels 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we've got a mega win. That's nice. That's really nice. Jeepers. How many wins we got there? Jesus, don't ask me. I'm just the demo guy. Holy shiitake mushrooms. That was a big win, guys. Wow, guys, I'm going to need a very strong drink after that one. Gareth, can I get a Mai Tai, please, with 2 straws? One for me and one also for me, please. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's compose myself, change my shorts. I just see we've got into the bonus round, which is awesome. Remember, we need 6 or more of these symbols to land on the reels for us to get into that bonus round. There we go. Show me the money. Free spins, best kind of spins. Nice win, I'll take that. Gareth, another Mai Tai, please. Fantastic. Oh, that's a good win. I like that. I'll take it to the bank. There you can see those coin symbols on the reels. Right, now that I'm feeling a little bit more dangerous, we're going to activate that Hyperbet level 4, because why the hell not? I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Still waiting for my Mai Tais, Gareth. Got some cash pots dropping. Nice, that's Seb's favorite, as he mentioned in the demo earlier. He loves the cash pots feature. Okay. Some nice action on the reels. We like to see it. Give me more cash pots. You gotta love those instant wins. At this point, I'm genuinely considering retirement options because I'm coining it today, guys. This doesn't happen in real life. Okay, some more free spins. I'll take it, please and thanks. Gareth, I'm considering hiring you in my retirement to serve me Mai Tais, but you're slacking a bit today. So that's TBC. All right, cool. Nice action on the reels. Love to see it. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit more lucky on the reels. Show me those cash pots. Love the animation on the game with the reels lighting up. And also, as the name would suggest, Pyro 7's, that theme in the background has got the flames. Very cool. Reminds me of Fire Eagle Reborn. Another flame. Oh, there we go. Nice. Brilliant. Take it to the bank. 206 euros. I'm going to spend that on Mai Tais. If you've gathered by now, I have a drinking problem. I like the Interwetten logo, as we said on the call with Seb. It's like subtle. It's not in your face. It's, you know it's a branded game, but it's on brand, but it's not too invasive. And that is a wrap, guys. I think we covered all the features in the game. Keep a lookout for it. As I said, it's exclusive on Interwetten's site. The game is called Interwetten Pyro 7's Hold and Win. It's part of our famous 7 series with a little Interwetten and Pyro twist. So play the game there. It's live. You can play it anytime you want. And as always, leave your comments on the post and give us your feedback on the game. We always read it. We always appreciate it. Without further ado, cheers.